Welcome back to the Unveiled podcast, the space where we strip back everything that's untrue and sit in what is. And today, I'm your host, Megan, and these are my co-hosts,
Antonai
and Laura.
And today we're diving into parenting, not the Instagram parenting, but the conscious parenting. The parent that is still trying to heal their nervous system while parenting. So Laura, you're the poster child of feeling like you have issues parenting. So can you kind of tell us some kind of issue you may have had over this past week?
Yeah, actually a couple. Yeah, I can start off with my daughter a couple weeks ago, about 2 weeks ago, came home and she told me she wanted to talk to me. And so I walk over to the couch and I'm like, what's going on? It's a good day, She had told me that her father had sat down with her and her stepmom, and they basically told her that this is your home too. And, I'm like, okay, that's great. Very supportive, and then it became, well, you've had me for 10 years and now it's time for dad to have me.
Which is probably a cut to the heart. Right
it was
there.
because you don't think that that's what your child's going towards, you know what I mean, at 12 years old. Yeah. So it really hurt my feelings, and I tried not to get emotional about it. And I guess I should have, taking a step back, looking at myself, I should have kind of got up and just said, give me a second and we'll come back and talk about this. But instead, I like to sit down and go ahead and talk things out. And I just basically told her, I was like, why do you feel that way? Do you feel that way? Seems like the discussion was pointed towards your dad convincing you to do this. Maybe I'm too quick to judge, but I just wanted to know the answers. So I finished having a conversation with her, and I just explained to her that that's not the situation. We have had agreements with courts where my daughter is with me full time. So, that's not really something that can happen like that.
Well, I know you were telling me whenever you called me all pissed off about it, you were like, he hasn't been there for what, 10 years pretty much? He's been there, but he hasn't had her.
When she was 2, I divorced her dad and I moved away. And he ended up moving about 8 months after that, closer to us. But then he got into a relationship, and he, I can't blame him too much. He knew he wasn't ready to be a dad. So he told me that. And although it was upsetting, we both did what we had to do. He did his own thing. I took her and raised her. But during our divorce, he was engaged again.
Oh, whoa. Before you even got divorced?
Yeah, he was engaged again.
Crazy. Made me squeak something.
Yeah, so it was interesting.
Well, wait, how long were you divorced?
We were we were only married for 11 months. Okay. And then we got divorced, but we, sped up the process quite a bit. So, I know in September, it was literally the day before my birthday. And then he was actually getting married 2 weeks after that. So during our court, he had given up full rights and everything in divorce court.
He gave them up.
He gave them up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So that really has to sting because you have picked up the slack for the last, 12, 12 years.
12 years.
And he got a break because he wasn't ready yet, and you literally.
It was a long break.
Yeah.
And then
That's
it
not
was
fair.
like after she was 2, so around about 8 years after that. So which puts her around 10 years old, 9, 10 years old. And she's 12 now. 9 or 10 years old, he started coming back. And like he wasn't completely absent from her life. Like he would get her every once in a while or take her out to dinner once in a blue moon. But there was never any calls, you know, let me talk to her, anything like that. So, you know, I got used to it. And for me, it was like, you know, I was trying to play mom, play dad when I wasn't in a relationship with my son's dad at that point. But it's like we think, maybe I'm getting a little off topic here, but we kind of think that we can be a mom, a dad, a brother, a sister, you know, for our child. But in reality, like the older I've gotten, I've realized that that's not true.
Right. They need that different energy.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was young. So I'm like, fine, fuck it. If you don't want to be there for her, I got this.
Yeah.
I got this.
Which also contributed to her masculine
More
energy,
masculine
like on the
energy.
last episode.
Yeah. So, and that's kind of where it played off. And then, yeah, so her dad started coming back in her life when she was about 9 or 10. And he's been doing better. You can tell he's been changing. He's got a new wife, other than the one that he had previously. And it's been great. She's been great. You know, I love her for him. Like they work. And he's always been like very controlling, very hard to work with. But when it came down to parenting at the end of the day, like he knew I was doing what was right for Allie.
Right.
And so we've always had like once in a while we'll have these little fights because me and him are both like hardcore, like stand up for the right thing.
Yeah.
And if we can't come to an agreement, a lot of times we will argue. And then I'll just tell him straight up, like, this is how it is.
Yeah.
Because I know her. She's in my house every day. You know,
But
I've
also still
wiped her ass.
Yeah. And
like I've done it all.
Still told us that you have to remind him to reach out to her and be there for
I
her.
did up until about, what was it, like 6, 7 months ago.
Wow.
And like I said, he gets her, you know, we have a set schedule now where I've given him time with her, more than enough time. He gets her all summer, things like that. Every other weekend. Just because now we live about an hour away from each other. But yes, about 6 months ago, I was having issues with her. And I think we had a previous episodes where I was talking about, I was heartbroken because I felt like my relationship with her was in a downward spiral. And it was so hard to pick it up because she is hormonal preteen. You know, she is trying to discover new things. And instead of me, you know, constantly attacking her, asking her why all the time, what's going on, blah, blah, blah. Like I'm restructuring and I'm continuing to do that. Like that is something that I'm really doing every single day, trying to figure out what the next thing is for her. What's the best thing for her? What's the best thing for our household? And then I had reached out to her dad and I said, listen, you don't call her enough. She broke down in the car to me one day and was like, Mom, I said, what is all this stemming from? Like, is there more that I can do? And she said, no. And I said, is it something that's affecting you, your dad? And she said, yes. I said, well, what is it? You want more attention? Like, and she said that he wasn't giving her what she needed.
And this was 6 months ago?
This was about 6 months ago, I would say.
Did you tell?
I think that was like now a few months ago, not 6.
Yeah.
Like recently.
Yeah.
Did you tell her father this?
I
or-
did. So
And what was his reaction? Is this the reason he's trying to?
I think that, so when I reached out to him and I just told him, I said, look, Allie really needs you. You know, I'm not her dad. I know she needs you. I'm not trying to make it to where she doesn't have a dad. Like you are always welcome in her life.
Right.
But she needs you to call her every day and ask her, hey, how was your day at school? Like that should not be hard for you to do. But for him, because he's so used to
Not being there.
not being there and has gotten comfortable with that, because he knows that even if he doesn't do something, who's it going to fall on, and who does he know
Yeah.
is going to take care of it?
You.
Me.
Mhm.
So 100%, he started calling her. And now it was like 2 weeks ago, this spurred up out of nowhere. Like, me and Allie have been on such a good level. Things have calmed down. We're understanding each other. You know, and we really talk to each other, but every once in a while she'll get a wild hair up her ass and just want to like argue,
Yeah.
which is normal. I know it is.
Yeah, teenagers are like that.
But when
Especially girls.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
when she come home the other day and made this comment to me, and
What
I
was the
like,
comment?
oh my God. About
that she wanted to actually go live with him.
it wasn't even her wanting to go live with him. It was her dad and the stepmom sitting down talking to her, saying, your mom's had you for 10 years. It's my turn. So
How did you react to that, though? I know you called me, but I was in the middle of something, and you were in total ego. You were about to lose your shit.
I felt completely entitled, but I also felt completely broken. It was almost like my body was at a tug of war, because
Ooh, I love that.
at the end of the day, like, I know everything I've done for her. And that's not to shove it in his face or her face, but it was like, at this point, she's 12 years old.
Yeah.
You expect her to get up and walk away from her entire life. You know what I mean? Like, her friends, her training, her family, her brother, her dog she sleeps with every night. Like, so I call him, and this is when it gets really bad. And at first I texted him and I was like, hey, we need to talk. And then he did not respond to me for a whole day.
And that's not normal.
No.
Okay,
No.
so then he knew what he did.
Oh,
He
of
knew.
course.
He 100% knew.
Damn.
And
It's a slap in the face.
it really was. Yeah. And then I called him, and I was cooking dinner, and I thought I had fully calmed down.
She waited to call.
I'm like, okay, he did this on purpose because he knew I was pissed and I would flip out on him. So yeah, I still ended up flipping out on him, because the first thing he said to me was, what?
Oh, I love that part. Like, why would
And
they
I am
answer the
like-
phone like that?
What do you mean, what? Like, were you
You're
did you
guilty?
not? I'm like, did you not see my text? Like, and he's like, oh, I saw it. And I'm like, okay. Round one.
Oh,
Here we go.
Ding, ding, ding. So we really did argue bad. I mean, it actually took me back to when I was married to him, or even just with him. The amount of anger and how much we were just going at it with each other. Like, when people say oil and water don't mix, okay, like, we are on steroids of that. When me and him headbutt, like, it's bad. So I felt bad at the end of our conversation, because we're both adults here. But he also would not own up to it, that he actually made that comment to her.
Yeah.
Oh, he
And
lied.
It wasn't exactly a lie, but he was beating around the bush. And I finally was like yelling at him, like, tell me the truth. Did you guys sit down and talk to her about this? And then he wouldn't say it. And then he finally admitted it. And then his wife actually messaged me and wrote me and said the same, like, told me what happened word for word. And I was like, this is just confirmation that you guys did. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't even message her back because I was just so upset. Still till this day, I have not. I mean, listen.
Oh,
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I have not.
And
And
you guys are close.
we get along very well. Like, we buy each other Christmas gifts. Like, I do love them. I loved them together. But at the same time, my daughter doesn't need another mother. Okay.
Mhm.
You are her stepmom. And listen, I have one. I have an amazing stepmom. God forbid she
is the
wasn't in my life.
best.
But here's the thing is, if I give my daughter to him and I say, here, you can have her for the next 10 years. Okay. Put it in a perspective. Who's going to be raising my kid?
The stepmom.
Because her dad works all the time. He's so used to going to the gym.
Mhm.
Doesn't mean he doesn't spend quality time with her. I know he does. They go driving the ATV in the woods and, you know, have good talks, whatever. But at the end of the day, like I explained to him, is I know Allie talks to you about stuff, but you don't truly know your daughter.
Mm.
And
Mm.
it's going to take you a long time. No matter how much you think she's opening up to you, there are things that she has not told you because she doesn't want you to know.
Yeah.
And that's not a tit for tat on I'm better than you. It's the fact is your daughter trusts me because I've given everything in the world to her. Is she blaming me for stuff that you did to her that when you walked away? I think so.
Yeah.
I think,
Well, tell me more about that. What do you think she's blaming you for?
I mean, we touched on this before.
Yeah, I mean, like for me, as from me also being from a young age, being from divorced parents, I really solidly blamed my mom for so long for, I really thought it was her fault for them getting divorced. And I was still, I think only now I recently like realized that it wasn't my mom, like it was both of them.
Right.
And I mean, at that time, Laura was young, he was young, you had a child, you guys kind of like had to like come together, but he didn't.
right.
And you
Mhm.
had to do all of that. And I know she doesn't mean to be mad at Laura, but that's the reaction because
I think it's
she's
just part of the territory at the end of the day.
Yeah.
with
But is
what
she really
happened.
mad at the dad? If you think about it.
Remember, he's not the villain, she's the villain, and he's like close in this superpower.
You got to
because-
remember, I'm
Yeah.
forming her.
Yeah, and she's the
I'm
one doing the hard
Discipline.
part.
Discipline. I'm
Discipline.
doing it.
Yeah.
And
Not that-
that's why Bodhi hates
Yeah.
me right
Yeah.
now.
And not that, listen, and not
That's
that
true.
he doesn't discipline her, but when he only sees her every other weekend and has her during the summer, like he has made comments to me. I mean, being real right now, he has made comments to me, Laura, I can't discipline her
Mhm.
like she needs to be disciplined. I discipline her, but I can't because
Yeah.
then every time she comes to my house, what am I doing constantly? Yelling at her, telling her
Yeah.
she can't do this, telling her she can't do that. But it's like when she's at my house, she knows what to do. She knows
Right.
how to get in trouble. You know what I mean? And she'll do certain things, mouth off.
Yeah.
It's a big one for her. She'll know when to keep that dang trap shut. I mean, we all have kids like this.
I mean, come on.
Bodhi won't even let you talk.
My 3.5-year-old's over here trying to negotiate with me. I take his freaking truck ride away from him and his iPad for a day. And he's over here going, oh, come on. Let me explain. And I'm
Aw.
like, what?
Let me explain.
What do you mean? You're trying to negotiate with me at 3.5 years old. I mean, this kid does not stop talking.
But if I look at Ali, I see a lot of myself in her because that's technically how I felt.
Dude, it's so cool that you guys relate so much because it's weird because, and I know you can tell the relationship sometimes. Allie goes too far on joking sometimes and she doesn't know when to stop. But like you being able to relate to her,
Yeah.
she loves you so much. Like y'all know, she will act like she don't give
care.
a shit.
Yeah.
She'll act like it. But deep down inside, she does love. And
She's
I think
soft.
she's still trying to figure out like, and this is stuff that I'm been working on. Like, you know, I think she's still learning how to take criticism,
Yeah.
learning how to stop controlling every situation because she gets to a point where she tries to control and she fails and then she breaks down.
Oh, I understand that.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And at 12 years old, like for her to feel that way, she shouldn't feel that way.
Yeah.
And I'm talking to her about it. You know, she's getting ready to start therapy today, actually.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, maybe a third party person.
How's she feel about it?
Oh my God, she's excited.
Really?
That's great.
Yeah, she straight
That's
up like
That's so
literally
cool.
like is excited about it. I told her, I'm like, okay, just remind me, you know.
How
so we
did
don't
you
miss it.
how did you bring it up to her about going to see a therapist?
Well, you guys know me. I don't slap shit on a wall. I just tell
You
her
were just
straight
like,
up.
you going to therapy.
Well, and I told her, I'm like, look, I don't think I know what I'm saying to you is the right thing just because even her sports coach, dude, this morning, she had coaching this morning. You should have heard her coach. I was just sitting there like, yes, yes.
He's a badass.
Yes, that's exactly what I tell her too. But like, I don't say that to her. I'm not like, hey, you heard what your coach said? I Told you so.
Yeah, but she needs an outsider, like a therapist, when she can like vent to, and she's not going to feel like that person is on
She's
your
not
side.
gonna feel like she's like, you're my mom.
Yeah.
Why are you telling me all this crap? You know, whatever. I think that Allie's gonna do really good with this
Mhm.
because she does love to talk to certain people. She has to bond with you though.
Yeah.
I wish I had that. She does not trust people right off the bat. Have you ever
Oh, I
have you
wish I
noticed
had that.
I noticed that from
I
the
trust
beginning.
learned it.
everyone
Right.
off the bat, and then I get
I'm also like that.
annihilated.
I
Yeah.
learned that as I got older,
Mhm.
not to trust immediately. But I always even told people like, "Oh, I'll trust you off the bat until you give me a reason to."
Yeah.
Well, no, it should be the complete opposite. Like, prove to me you're trustworthy.
That's
Yeah.
true.
And that's one thing about her that I love. She has got that down packed.
Mhm.
She will not trust you until you give her a reason.
I think also now her going to a therapist is going to help the relationship, but I do think it's going to take a few years for it to really change, because I know how long me and my mom was butting head all the time. And then
Right.
every second weekend I went to my dad. I have a stepmom too. And like, I really thought that was like the best time, because I wasn't disciplined.
Yeah.
My dad never even spanked me or anything. Like, till this day, he never. My mom was always the bad guy, being the one that disciplined me, punishing me. Well, not punishing me, like taking away technology or,
Yeah.
little things. And that's why I think I relate so much to Ali. And I think she reminds me of my younger self, just trying to like find that love from her dad.
Yeah.
And even though you're providing that and you're giving your part, it's only now in my 20s, I've only realized that my mom was never the bad guy. So I think with time she'll realize it, but I also think you shouldn't be as hard on yourself, because
Yeah.
it's not really she's not really doing this on purpose to hurt
Right.
you.
And I think it took me time to realize that because
Yeah.
I mean, I was breaking down.
Yeah.
I was crying.
Yeah, and
Because-
that was a big
like,
thing for me when you
gotta
cried.
realize like this is my little human.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it's like she's the one thing that I've missed so much is my relationship with my mom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And imagine like not having control of your own daughter, and it's just like you feel like you're just breaking apart, and
Yeah.
it's like you're doing everything you can to bandage it up and heal it and heal her.
Yeah.
And
But
you're so afraid that like if you don't do all that
I'm gonna
you
lose
could
her forever.
manifest what you have with your mom. Oh, I have chills. The
Yeah.
dynamic of what you have with your mom. So it's like you
Well, I mean, it wouldn't be
over-
quite that, but yes, like the situation that I have with my mom right now, where I'm not speaking to her, like
right.
you know, I never want that to happen and that's why I'm so open with Allie when I talk to her. Like she's at that point now, she's asking questions about me and her dad's divorce, and you know, he's afraid. He thinks that that's an adult conversation, and I'm like, I mean, it is, but it's not. Like she's at a point in her life where she's asking so many questions. So let's answer them for her. Let's be honest with her. You're sitting here having an adult conversation with her about moving out, and where are we right now? She asked you about divorce and you can't talk to her about any of it?
Yeah.
Anyways, we ended up when we finally kind of calmed down, we did have another conversation. And I told him, I said, this was about less than a week ago. He called me and she was at his house over the past weekend. And he was like telling her to call me. So they're out in the field driving the ATV and they stop. And I guess he had been drinking. I heard it in his voice. He tried to lie. And I was
Yeah.
like, no, you know. And then Allie was like, yeah, don't lie to her, you know? So we're chatting and I'm like, just be honest with her. I was like, Allie, what questions, you know, we're both on the phone. What questions do you want answered? Like, whatever. And so, you know, she asked briefly about the divorce and she goes, I know that, you know, dad was unfaithful. And I'm like, okay, well, there you go. She understands. Your dad was unfaithful. We were young and it just didn't work. It's not that we didn't try to be together. It's that it just didn't work. And sometimes that is okay. We have to understand that not everybody, like, I'm not best friends with everybody in the world. It's just how it works. The relationship isn't there.
But you feel that she blames you for the divorce.
I don't think that. I think she's just in a situation right now where she feels like my dad needs me. My mom has had me kind of situation.
But I don't think she would have thought that without their discussion coming. So I don't think
it was
they
so
helped.
random. It was pulled out of someone's ass.
Oh, of course.
I mean,
out of nowhere.
It was just the most random thing. And like I said, I was already dealing with situations with her. It was like we were already in a good spot and now here it comes again.
Yeah.
But even after that conversation, when we were talking, I guess Allie had went inside and Dustin was just going in circles. Her dad was just talking and I was like, it's like, okay, she's not here anymore. What are we talking about now? And then he literally broke down to me and I could hear him crying and he was apologizing to everything that he did to me in the past. The cheating, the lying. And I was just like, he's like, I'm changed. I'm a changed man now. And I was like, well, that's great. Like, I'm proud of you. Like, I think I've showed you and told you that several times that I know you're changed, but I can't just give you Allie. You know what I mean? I can't just do that.
And you can't expect that of me.
Right.
When I put in, 10, 11 years of blood, sweat, and tears.
And I explained that to him, and I think, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I think at the end of the day, because he had brought up Nick and how he was so happy that I found someone that treats myself and my kids great and it's there. And I think that Dustin feels like the bond between her and him I don't want to say jealous, but it may affect how he feels.
It's his territory.
Yeah.
It's he's scared that he's gonna lose
if
it.
that is what it is, like, I mean, I understand, but like also the same thing, like I know Allie's bonding with her stepmom so much. Like
you want that because of what you have with yours.
Dude.
Yeah.
I am the biggest support of having a co-parent, dude, like 100%, because that's just more love for my kid. Like I am totally down for that. But it's just when you overstep boundaries that you don't need to be overstepping.
Yeah.
Especially when you have no rights. And so that was one other thing I had to talk to Allie about too when we were on the phone was, I was like, did you ever explain to your daughter while you were talking to her about all of this why she can't just get up and walk away? And he's like, well, no.
Well, yeah.
Well, and I told her, I said, explain it to her. Tell her what happened then. If, it's not to throw you under the bus, but it's what happened.
Yeah.
She wants to know, you brought it up.
Yeah.
Why lie to her? You're acting like I'm the one that's constantly saying no. But so he did. He told her that when she was younger, he gave her up in court.
Damn.
He gave me full rights. And, I know that might feel like a lot on her, but she has her answers now.
Yeah.
And she can make a better decision with truthful answers. We weren't trying to be harsh and I wasn't trying to be harsh, but I'm also trying to be real.
Yeah.
If I'm constantly sugarcoating everything for her, then what am I at the end of the day? I'm a liar.
Yeah.
Right.
And I am sorry. I am not going to sit here and lie to my fucking kids. Like, I cannot lie to them. If they're going to get a lie, it's because they have believed in Santa Claus, until they're ready. And then when they ask me, hey, Mom, is Santa real?
Yes,
and
I
I
lied
say
to you.
no, then whatever, it is what it is. But I try really hard not to lie to them. And I give them the best reasoning that I possibly can for their age.
And that's conscious parenting.
Yeah.
That's what I
being
really try to do.
completely honest with your kid and I've done this to the extreme in a bit. I started treating Bodie, my 3.5-year-old, like he's 13. I was having conversations with him like he comes in the room sometimes. He's like, I just want to talk with Jesus today. Like a lot of 3.5-year-old kids
do that.
they don't have that, you know, like, and like this morning he came out and he was like, I don't want to go to heaven. I'm like, why are you talking about heaven? So I had to like pull back with being too honest
Yeah.
with him. Because I think I was, you know, going extreme. But I know that you told me what you admire about Allie. Can you tell me what triggers you the most in her?
With her.
Yeah. And then what does that like mirror back to you? Because
Honestly, what triggers me the most is when she acts like she is unloving and uncaring. She has something in her, and I will say, genetically, I think it's in her from her dad. And I know her dad at one point could admit this. I know he still will, but there is a part of her that there's been a few times. Well, I don't want to say a few. It's obviously been more than enough for me to notice, but she'll do something or somebody will get hurt or something like that, and she doesn't
show emotion.
She brushes it off. She doesn't care. She doesn't say sorry. She hardly ever says sorry.
So
It's
no
hard for her.
empathy.
Very hard for her to have that.
Okay.
And that is what we are working on. We're trying to figure out where that is stemming from. It's not that she doesn't have it, because she'll write about it.
No,
You
I
know
know
what I
she
mean?
has it because the other day when I was at the house during the birthday party, I started crying over
Yeah.
me and him making up one of my friends. And she came in and she was like, "Are you okay?"
Yeah.
And like when she cares, she cares.
Oh, dude. Yeah. She's all
You know what I
about it.
mean? Like I just got chills, but yeah, like she's very deep. So I don't think it's that she doesn't have it. I think that it's just
No, I
buried.
feel like she lacks it. She lacks it showing it.
Yeah.
But I think that's how she feels safe, because
Right.
as soon as she shows you she has an emotion,
Vulnerable.
she feels like
she feels,
yeah, and
she feels
and
vulnerable.
I kind of relate once again with that too, because if people think you are too vulnerable or too soft, then
It's
they
like,
treat
what's
you
the
different,
balance?
you know?
They think something's wrong with me.
yeah,
Because
so,
I'm so damn emotional, you know, like I'm a what they call a highly sensitive person. So like
Right.
I can pick up on emotions from 10 feet away and not know if it's mine or not. So I understand
And
that.
I feel like a lot of it comes down to protecting herself.
yeah.
And it does. And not saying that anything's wrong with her, but here's the thing. If I don't try to help her and help answer her questions and answer her emotions and explain to her, maybe somebody else can explain to her like what's going on in her body, I don't want her questioning herself her whole life.
I think the
'Cause
therapist
can
is
we
gonna
all
help.
agree here that we do that?
Oh
Mhm.
yeah, of course.
Wouldn't it have been nice when we were that age that we had at least 50% of the answers,
Yeah.
or at least
Yeah, but that's just
understand?
not how life works.
Right. So like, I recognize a lot of the stuff, and that's why I try to like show her. I know she's gonna make mistakes, and trust me, I let her make those mistakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I let her figure them out. But if there's something that I see that I can help her with, I'm gonna try to help her.
I think the therapist is going to help her a lot, because she'll be able to like be an outsider and see where Ali comes from. But I also feel like it stems back to when her dad gave her up.
Right.
Yeah.
That hurt is like inside of her.
I think so.
And now
too.
that's probably why she wants to move with him, to kind of
Because
heal
she's-
that.
yeah.
Intuitively, she's trying to heal that.
She
Right.
thinks it's
Missed
gonna.
time.
She thinks it's gonna, but it's not. He
No,
missed
it's
a lot
not.
of things.
No,
he
it's
missed
not.
a lot of hard times, like you said. He doesn't really
And she
always know
has-
everything.
Listen, and not anybody can make up being her father by any means. Am I saying that? But I will say that she has so many people that love her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She has so many people that love her, and I am constantly reminding her that look at the people that care about you, that have been there for you. I'm not excluding her father. I'm including that.
Yeah.
You know, and we're all going to continue being here for her as a support system and walking with her through every phase that she goes through, whether it's These damn teenagers.
I see her as like I see her literally as like a little sister, and I think that's why I can always like. I know sometimes she pushes the limit, and I don't hold back. And then I'm like, I need to remember that
so much shit to
that
each
I'm
other.
an adult, and I need to at my age. But sometimes I don't because I'm like, this is like my little buddy, you know. But then when she pushes it, then she gets in trouble with Laura. I'm like, fuck, this is me.
It's so funny. She'll be like, I literally said, I'm like, hey, we're going to the podcast today. Do you want to go? And she goes, who's all going? I was like, me. And she goes, no, I'm good. I'm like, Megan and Anstane. And she goes, okay, I'm going. And I
so
look at her, I'm
cute.
like, you look like a homeless person. Please at least brush your
Hey,
hair.
I love her shorts. I've been
I love
wanting
her
those.
Oh, no. She was not wearing that before we left.
I really love her style. I do.
Let me ask you this. What do you see in her that reflects something in you that you don't necessarily like?
Oh, that I don't like?
Yeah.
I was going to say what I like. Drive.
Like, what is she mirroring back to you that you may need to heal in yourself? Here's like an example. I see Bodhi going from thing to thing like a freaking gnat, right? That's a mirror of me.
I think I want her to
You
be
see,
more of a mirror of me.
I don't like it that he's that way. It bothers me, you know, and I don't like that I'm that way, right? So like I'm trying to get you to
But
dig
I feel like,
deep to where
I feel like there's not a part of her that I see that. Like I want her to be more like me, to be honest.
you think
Yeah.
she's total opposite of you.
I don't think total opposite, but I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I don't see bad things coming from
You?
me that I look at her and see. Like honestly, I really don't. I think
So you're telling me nothing that she does
I don't think yet.
irritates you that is in
that
you.
reminds me.
I think her
she's
big
a
mouth.
shit talker.
Yeah, and that's how you are.
But her dad is worse at it. Like when you hear her dad talk, she resembles her dad's mouth. She doesn't
Okay.
always, even though like she'll shit talk, but the control talk of her, that's not me.
Yeah.
That's her dad. That's what I was saying was ingrained in her when she was born.
Yeah.
Like if you hear, and he'll admit it too, he said it. She's so much like me. That's what he said.
Me and my dad are also like very much alike, and that's why me and my mom always fought so much because I reminded her a lot about him.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe that's it.
I think it's
Maybe
just,
she reminds you of him, and that's the main problem.
I just that's what that's what happened mostly in our relationship.
I mean, I would say yeah, because I've told her dad, I'm like, you know, he's like, perfect example. He said, I've changed. And I'm like, yeah, I know you have. But, you know, you wanting to have Allie live with you, you want her to be more in your life, and you think that you can change the way that she is because you've changed a certain way. I said, but she's not going to run the same life cycle as you and be able to change that.
yeah.
It's not how it works. If you keep her away from that and you tell her, Allie, this is what happened to me.
Mm-hmm.
If you continue acting like this, you're going to go down the same road as me. And this is what happened to me. Tell her what happened to you.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you would tell her not to follow that you've done in life?
Yeah. And she already knows.
What is it?
Don't get married to the first person you meet.
Okay.
That's so real.
That was real.
Don't get married
That
to the
was
first person
raw.
you meet. Take your time. And we've had this talk, and she knows. She's already told me she didn't want kids. She's on the borderline.
I
of
didn't either
marriage.
until, you know.
Well, I said the same thing. I was
37
I
years.
never wanted kids. I
Really?
never thought I was
You?
ever going to get married. Yes, I swear to God. Swear to
I thought
God.
that was all that you
Boom.
wanted was a family
No.
and
Nope.
Huh.
When I was dating Dustin, nope. Allie was a little surprise bundle of joy.
wow.
Yeah, we actually did not think that we did not think that we could get pregnant
Wow.
at all.
Same thing with me.
That tells you
Yeah.
anything. So
Well, we're getting kind of close to wrapping it up, and I
Yeah.
want to leave you with the question, I guess, to marinate on, or if you can answer it now, that's fine too. But if there's something like a generational thing that you would want to break, that maybe how that you were parented in a way, what would that be? Is there like a
Oh
generational
yeah, I can
cycle?
answer that now if you
Yeah,
want.
cool. Thanks.
It would be learn to um walk away and take a breather instead of yelling. Because sometimes I am a parent at some point that does yell.
You
And,
scream.
I get high voiced. I wouldn't say I absolutely scream. I have screamed, but
But you start screaming when someone else
I
screams
start,
at you too. Like when they raise their
yeah,
voice. I'm like that too. Like, do not
yeah,
yell at me. Then I also raise my voice.
right.
Mm.
But
I think my yelling comes from the disrespect, and if I could, and I know that was in my household growing up as well, that if I disrespected my dad or whatever the case may be, my dad immediately yelled.
Hmm.
So I'm a little toned back, but I do need to continue working on it, and that's what I'm doing. It's a road.
And one more question? What's your advice to people that parents that are still healing themselves and trying to raise their children? What's your advice on, I guess, how do you discipline? And like, is it conscious or not how you're disciplining, basically?
I would just give, I don't even want to go on a discipline because I know there's so many different people that will respond in many ways. We're all different,
Yeah.
but I'll just say this to kind of close the entire thing.
Okay.
But as a mom, just make sure you're doing the most conscious decision making that you can, and take yourself out of the picture as a third party
Mm,
and look at the view from not just your child but yourself,
that's it.
and try to see both sides and work on it from there, whatever the situation is. And just know that, and I say this all the time, that it's going to be okay and that you're going to get through it. And you just got to try to stay positive and stay calm and breathe. Just breathe.
Nice.
yeah, and don't be so hard on yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess we're all going to be trying to be more conscious parents now with Laura's help. So until next time, guys, follow the frequency.
Follow the frequency.